Hi! Today I wanted to show you guys how I store my negatives, both physically and digitally. My forehead is out, my bangs did not want to participate in today's video. They'll be welcome back next week. I would say my method is very student friendly, budget friendly. I know if a film photographer that does it for a living were to see my setup, they might be like, that's questionable, but this is what works for me. These are pretty much things I learned when I was taking black and white film in college. Alright, so this is my binder. I pretty much keep everything in this binder. I have 3 binders, one for each semester I've taken of black and white film. I already graduated last year, so I'm just trying to fill up this binder as much as I can before I have to get a new one. Upon first glance, on the left hand side I have things that helped me when I was printing in the darkroom. This is all stuff for borders and dodging. And then on the right hand side I have my negatives. So as you can tell, I use film sleeves. I feel like this is like the most important part to stay organized. This is the type of film sleeves I use, the archival 35mm negative preservers. I've seen other types, but this is the one I've been using. It fits in a binder, which is perfect for my use. There's also different sizes, as you can see from the flyer in the back. But for this one in particular, this is for 35mm film. And the only problem I have with this is that it holds only 35 frames. And as you know, a roll of film usually has 36 frames. There's always gotta be one extra one. So what I do, if I have an extra exposure that doesn't fit in the negative sleeve, is I use this. As you may know, I develop my own black and white film, but when I get my color film done, I go to a lab. So when they give me back my film and I only get it processed, they give it back to me in this really long sleeve. I wasn't sure what to use these for the longest time, but then I realized I could just put the excess negative that doesn't fit in the sleeve in here, like so. And then I hook it onto the top of the negative sleeve like this, so they're all together still. If this is how the lab returns your film, it's useful to keep this. I honestly keep everything related to film photography. I keep the little plastic canisters. I keep these things. You never know when it's gonna come in handy. And then as for labeling, I only started doing this recently. I wish I did this when I was still in school. It really would have helped me just organize everything better. On top of the negative sleeve, I have the date. That could be the date that I scanned it, the date that I took these photos, the day that I got them back from the lab. Just any date that'll kind of help me is what I put down. And then I also put the subject matter next to it. I put the type of film and the camera I used. The type of film doesn't really matter when you're labeling because it says it on the negative anyway. Just first glance, it helps to know, oh, I shot this in Portrait 400 with my Minolta. So that's pretty simple. I feel like this method is pretty cheap, very portable. I would either carry my binder in my backpack or leave it in my locker. It doesn't take up too much space and it's organized. Besides that, in my binder I also have normal sheet protectors, and that is for my contact sheets. This applies more to when I was taking classes. I don't really do physical contact sheets now, but this helps, having the contact sheet right in front of the negative sleeve so I can refer back to it, so I know exactly which image I want to print without having to, you know, look on the light table. That is pretty much it for my physical storage. Now on to how I digitally store my scans. So I have 2 options here. This is just a normal external hard drive. This is 4 terabytes, I believe. And then this is a 2 terabyte SSD. I've used both. I currently use this. It was definitely an investment. It is faster, it is more compact, and it's more durable than a hard drive. I trust that my stuff is going to be safe in here rather than keeping it in here because there's just so many moving parts on the inside, and also because of those moving parts it makes it slower, and I tend to work off of my hard drive rather than my laptop. Since I edit short films, I edit YouTube videos, I edit photos, all of those things just being stored in a laptop would take up so much space, and I'd rather have those things in here. This is my preference, but honestly, this worked fine. It's a lot cheaper. I believe it's half the price of this, and this holds more. So, whichever is more important to you. On to the actual folders. I am a folder gal. I love folders. I pride myself in my clean desktop. So here I have my SSD, and then from the get-go we have folders already. So it's in my photography folder, and then I have it sorted by digital, film scans, and restoration. So here are my folders. I honestly wish that this was even more organized, preferably by year, but I try to organize it by either like the date or just roughly what the subject matter is. This is my OC 2020 folder. So I have a folder for edited and unedited. Unedited is straight from the scanner. And then in the edited folder, I have like my favorite photos that I retouched. Another way I like to stay organized is by making a contact sheet. So I will show you how I do that digitally now if you're interested. I highlight them all, Command A, and then I drag it into Bridge. And then I'll highlight them all, go to Tools, Photoshop, and then Contact Sheet 2. And then here are my settings. And then after that I just hit OK, and then it automatically makes contact sheets, and then I just quick export them as PNGs. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Like I said, this is very basic, very budget friendly, very student friendly. If you have any tips that you would like to include with how you store your negatives, let me know. I am open to suggestions. I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye.